Round 2 of State League saw a few firsts. It was the first State League match ever on the infamous Baysy clay. It was the first State League match at Bayswater Tennis Club in more than 4 decades, and it was the first State League match ever where Adam Howard did not have a fight with anyone about anything. Firstly, money makes the world go round, and our sponsors help spin that bad boy for us. Agrifil. If you have a garden and it has plants, chances are that these guys had a hand in helping you fertilise them. Adam Howard, Finance and Strategy. If you need help getting a bank to do what you want them to do, maybe give this guy a call. And Head Sports Products and Apparel. Sweet rackets and stylish clothes that have been helping players produce their best for decades. The number 1 singles this week saw Adam Howard of Bayswater versus Josh Spring at Peppy Grove. Spring is a big guy with big shots, a big serve and a big forehand, and he wanted to stand and command the court. In the first set, though, it was Howard who took everything early and made Spring move, but Spring came back to play 2 impressive sets, taking the match. Spring in 1-6, 6-3, 6-2. The number 2 singles saw Bayswater's Georgie Perez against Peppy Grove's Brendan Malarkey. Georgie looked the goods in this tight encounter, using his clay experience to push, roll and slice his way to a set-up and match point in the second. It was a crazy tight tiebreaker in the second. I was on next and I took my tracky top off and put it back on about 4 times before Brendan managed to eke out the win. Third set looked a bit like Georgie had blown himself out in the first 2, with Brendan running away with it in the third. Malarkey defeating Perez 6-7, 7-6, 6-1. The number 3 singles saw Baysy's Mike Privet against Peppy Grove's Josh Bowen. This was another good match-up for Priv. Josh is a nice-looking lefty with a sweet serve, clean groundies and good feel. But on a crazy windy day, what he really needed was speed, grunt and control. It was a topsy-turvy first set, with Josh up 2-love, then Priv up 5-2, and then a tight tiebreaker. But after Priv won the first set, it looked like Josh wanted to go home. Defeated by Privet 7-6, 6-1. The number 4 singles saw Bayswater's Jake Hawthorne up against Peppermint Grove's Ryan Godwin. Gotta say, super impressed with how Hawk used the wind and the clay here. Lots of whippy cross-court forehands and swinging serves, slices and sneaky volleys. It made it tough for Ryan, who hasn't played a lot of tennis recently. That said, he looks $1 million on the court. Good style on all shots, but conditions got the best of him. Hawthorne defeating Godwin 6-2, 6-3. The number 1 doubles this week saw Priv and Howard against Malarkey and Godwin. This was a tight match that didn't end up getting finished. Godwin was arguably the best player on the court, sticking heaps of sharp volleys. All players served pretty well, but everyone struggled to return well with old balls on slow clay with drizzling rain and howling wind. Just terrible tennis conditions. In the end, it was stuck at sunset at a set all. 6-4 to Malarkey and Godwin, 7-6 to Howard and Privet. The number 2 doubles this week saw Georgie Perez and Jake Hawthorne of Bayswater against Josh Spring and Josh Bowen of Peppermint Grove. The Joshes are a good combo. They just lost a super breaker last season to world number 1 John Peers, and they unleashed that skill on the Baysy boys yesterday. Solid combination of Spring's power and Bowen's feel made for tough going, and it looks like doubles practice could be the order of the day at training this week for Bayswater. Spring and Bowen defeated Perez and Hawthorne 6-1, 6-love. So, an incomplete match, split points, up there with the 2010 drawn grand final and those nights you spent all night talking to a girl only to be told you're going home alone. So much work for no result. But on to round 3, which is a Northeast derby against the young men of Mount Lawley. Play on!